Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for total bangers that we can't believe weren't an artist's highest charting track. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below. Number 10, Tiny Dancer, Elton John. In an impressive catalog of certified classics, Tiny Dancer stands tall among the rest.
Blue jean baby, LA lady.
The storytelling, courtesy of lyricist Bernie Taupin, ranks high next to other hits. With the help of Almost Famous, audiences were reminded of the greatness of this track. The single only hit 41 on the Billboard Hot 100 in the US. Meanwhile, in the singer's home country, the composition did even worse.
Ballerina, you must have seen her.
For context, many songs of the same decade, such as Crocodile Rock and Benny and the Jets, did better on the charts. Still, all of these years later, Tiny Dancer endures for its emotional and dramatic execution. The piano ballad can't be beat in terms of melodic excellence, and could easily be called John's finest statement.
You had a busy day today. Oh.
Number 9, Blitzkrieg Bop, Ramones. Few of the Ramones songs received the recognition they deserved in the 70s. Aside from tracks like Sheena as a Punk Rocker and Rockaway Beach, the band generally missed out on the Billboard Hot 100. Their signature song, Blitzkrieg Bop, didn't even make the popular chart in its first run, despite the track transcending the subgenre with its anthemic chorus. The upbeat groove and distorted chords give it an edge that represents everything the band stood for.
The pollen in the back seats, the generates.
While it didn't get the fiscal success it deserved in its day, Blitzkrieg Bop has fortunately become a mainstay of American punk music since then. Number 8, Jolene, Dolly Parton. Among the most beloved country stars, Dolly Parton is an icon known for her incredible songwriting. The legendary track Jolene features some of the genre's best storytelling.
Jolene, 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 Jolene.
And despite being one of the songs Parton is best known for, this emotional powerhouse only made it to 60 on Billboard.
Your beauty is beyond compare with flaming locks of auburn hair.
Her output in the latter decade was much more successful for its time.
Jolene, I'm begging of you, please don't take my man.
Here You Come Again rose to number 3 on the Hot 100, featuring more of a pop sound that connected with wider audiences. There's also her work in the 1980s that includes a hit collaboration with Kenny Rogers. These are all worthy releases, but ultimately, this 1973 single should have seen more commercial fortune. Number 7, Once in a Lifetime, Talking Heads. If there's one anthem that defines the Talking Heads, it's arguably Once in a Lifetime.
You may find yourself living in a shotgun shack.
It might shock fans to know that the song never even reached the Hot 100 at all. After the music video received airplay on MTV, the track earned an important spot in pop culture history. David Byrne's preacher-like performance blends satire and social commentary in a defining work of the 1980s. This composition highlights the act's unique energy, musicianship, and diverse influences. Their later single, Burning Down the House, reached the top 10 on the same Billboard chart. giving the band one of their most significant hits during their original run. Both releases feature their trademark and complex sound, but the earlier piece should have done even better.
Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was.
Number 6. Landslide, Fleetwood Mac. If you go back in a time machine to the mid-1970s, tell Fleetwood Mac to make this one a single.
I took my love, took it down.
Landslide was released on their self-titled album as an album track. Stevie Nicks' incredible songwriting and soulful performance grew in popularity through the years, eventually receiving a live release alongside their 1997 album, The Dance.
Well, I've been afraid of changing.
Nicks' artistry stands the test of time, providing the beating heart of the collective through their 1970s and 1980s period. It also takes on a whole new meaning, given the singer's complicated life.
But time makes you bolder, even children get older.
Along with their chart-topping classic Dreams, this track encapsulates the deeply personal nature of the group's releases.
Bring it down.
Number 5. Changes, David Bowie. What song better represents David Bowie's hold on the counterculture?
Still don't know what I was waiting for, and my time was running wild.
This oft-quoted track features some of the musician's greatest lyrics in his classic 1970s style. It only ended up as a moderate hit, climbing to 41 on the US Billboard Hot 100. One could argue that Bowie was too ahead of his time with his larger message. Several years later, his single Fame skyrocketed to number 1 on the same chart. The artist proves that he's incredibly versatile in these two tracks, spanning eclectic sounds in such a short time.
Strange fascination, fascinating me.
He has almost a dozen songs that should have been bigger in retrospect, but Changes stands in a class all its own for the amazing performance.
I said that time may change me, but I can't trace time.
Number 4. Love Story, Taylor Swift. It only took 2 albums for Taylor Swift to become a household name.
We were both young when I first saw you. I closed my eyes and the flashback started.
Fearless was more pop-oriented than her first record, featuring hits like Love Story and You Belong With Me. The former single remains a favorite among Swifties, but it never actually reached the top spot of the US Billboard Hot 100.
See the lights, see the party, the ball gowns.
It would hit number 4, which is still great, but given its popularity, some might be surprised to learn this. It would take a couple of years before We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together claimed that honor. With references to Shakespeare, Swift's lyrics are wise beyond their years.
And I said, Romeo, take me somewhere we can be alone.
Even so, the catchy songwriting doesn't feel dated in the slightest. Forever an earworm, Love Story has all the trademarks of her greatest and most resonant releases.
It's a love story, baby, just say yes.
Number 3. Stairway to Heaven, Led Zeppelin. Of all the impressive music on Led Zeppelin 4, this was more of a deep track that didn't strike a chord with the US charts.
There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold.
The epic piece has since become an entity unto itself, featuring a classic riff and dynamic production that's nothing short of iconic.
And she's buying a stairway with you.
Stairway to Heaven has grown in popularity so much since its release that it's now considered overplayed. However, in the late 1960s and early 1970s, the band was more successful with hits like the bluesy Whole Lotta Love and the hard rock staple Immigrant Song. Maybe this composition was considered too long or too cerebral for its time.
If there's a bustle in your hedgerow, don't be alone there.
Either way, it stood the test of time.
I'm one of those.
to be a rock and not the road.
Number 2, I Want to Hold Your Hand, The Beatles. The Beatles have so many number ones that it's hard to articulate their sheer impact on popular music.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you something. I think you'll understand.
In less than a decade, the group conquered music and made history. I Want to Hold Your Hand ranks as one of their most important breakthroughs from the early 1960s.
And when I touch you, I feel happy inside.
It helped to initiate the British invasion and also was a significant reason that the band made it big in America. Beatlemania might have been in full blast when this song came out. But it was Hey Jude that eventually spent the longest time at the top of the charts. You can make an argument for any number of songs, but this fun rocker feels like the one that represents a turning point in their career.
I wanna hold your
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen. Despite all of the praise this track receives, it only reached number 9 in the US upon its release in 1975.
just killed a man.
Hits like Another One Bites the Dust fared much better in their original run, but Bohemian Rhapsody is quite possibly the culmination of Queen's artistic career.
Goodbye, everybody. I've got to go.
Combining operatic songwriting with fantastic performances, this song captures the greatness of the band in one epic production. Given its popularity with general audiences, you might expect this to have been the group's biggest hit.
So you think you can stop me and spit my eye?
Thankfully for future generations, the song gained further attention in subsequent decades, after more pop culture appearances like in Wayne's World.
Mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub has a devil put aside for me.
Did we forget another song that should have been more successful? Let us know in the comments. Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.
Take me from the place that I love, but you can never take my heart from it.